Hi folks, Lily here. This video is part of a video series for you to watch with your child. In this video series, you'll learn how to put together an ingredient tasting to learn all about the different flavors and textures of the ingredients in a recipe. You'll also learn how to follow along with a recipe to make a healthy snack or meal together. If you aren't watching this video with your child, now is a great time to hit pause and go get them so you can watch the rest of this video together. Hi folks, Lily here with Spoons Across America, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making back to school overnight oats. This recipe is super simple. You prepare your oats the night before for easy on-the-go breakfast for busy school or work mornings. As always, this recipe is super customizable and uses just a few plant-based ingredients to pack a delicious and nutritious meal. Let's get started with the tasting. You're going to want to start by tasting each one of your ingredients. Now, because you're going to be preparing this recipe the night before you actually eat it, you can do this tasting at night when you're preparing the recipe. Go through and taste each ingredient, making sure to pay special attention to the textures of the different ingredients, as they will change a lot as your oats sit overnight. In the morning, when you actually eat the meal, you can discuss it together and talk about how these textures and flavors may have changed. Let's look at the recipe. The recipe is super simple for this one. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to prepare, but you are going to need enough time to chill your oats in the fridge overnight. So make sure you read all the way through the recipe so there's no surprises. Let's dive in. The base of this recipe uses just 6 ingredients: banana, rolled oats, the milk of your choosing, maple syrup, cinnamon, and salt. First up, we're going to start with the banana. You want to use a nice ripe banana. The riper your banana is, the easier it will be to mash and the sweeter it will be. So this is 1 banana. I'm going to put it in my bowl. This recipe makes 2 servings, enough for you to share. You can of course double or triple it if you want a nice big batch for the whole family or for breakfast all weekend long. So once you've added your banana, you're going to mash it using a fork. You want to mash until it's totally smooth with few to no lumps remaining. Once your banana is totally mashed like this, you can go ahead and add the rest of your ingredients in. We're going to use 1 1/4 cups of rolled oats. You want to use rolled oats here, not quick oats, as that will give you a different consistency in your finished oatmeal. Then we're going to use 1 cup of milk of your choice. I'm using a plant-based milk or a non-dairy milk here, but you could use dairy or, of course, a non-dairy milk like almond, oat, soy, whatever you like. I have 1 cup of soy milk here. Then we're going to add some flavorings. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You could also use honey. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. This is optional, but it adds a lot of nice flavor. And half a teaspoon of salt. All right, now it's time to mix. All right, once it's all thoroughly mixed like this, you're going to go ahead and divide it into 2 containers. I like to use jars here because they have nice tight fitting lids and they make a great thing to serve out of or to take places if you want to eat your breakfast on the go. You can of course use just any small container with a nice tight fitting lid. Alright, we're going to divide our oat mixture into our 2 containers. You can use a spoon, you can pour it, however works best for you. Now at this point, your mixture might look kind of funny. It's going to be a little bit runny, and it might not really look like an oatmeal that you would want to eat. That's because while it sits in the fridge overnight, the oats are going to absorb the liquid and all of those flavors, and it will thicken up like cooked oatmeal. Instead of cooking though, we're sitting in the fridge and letting the refrigerator and time do all of the work. You want to just put the lids on here, screw them on nice and tight, and then pop them in the fridge overnight. In the morning, take them out of the fridge, give them a stir, and then put any toppings on them that you like. Before I show you the finished product and how I like to top them though, I'm going to show you one more variation of these overnight oats. My carrot cake oats, which get a secret serving of vegetables into your breakfast. I'm going to get all my ingredients cleaned up and reset, and then I'll meet you right back here to make my carrot cake oats. Alright, I've got all my ingredients ready to go, so let's make some carrot cake oats. Now, this recipe uses the same technique as our basic variation, but adds in a few extra ingredients to kick things up a notch. We're going to start out with a banana. One ripe banana. Just go ahead and mash that up. Alright, to that we're going to add 1 1/4 cup rolled oats. This time we're going to use 1 1/2 cups of milk of your choice. We need a little extra liquid because we're going to be adding more things into the mixture. That goes right in. Then we're going to add 1/2 cup of grated carrots. It's about 1 large carrot. This is an excellent way to get some vegetables into your breakfast. You can also use grated apple or zucchini or other similar things to add a little extra protein, flavor, and deliciousness to your breakfast. Some extra vitamins. Alright, then we're going to add 1/4 cup of raisins. These are totally optional. If you're not a fan of raisins, go ahead and skip it. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. And our spices. We're going to use, again, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and an additional 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger for a little extra spice. Alright, we're just going to mix that up and divide it between our 2 containers. Alright, these are ready to get the lids put on them and pop them into the fridge to chill overnight. Just like that. Now you might be wondering, okay, but how do I eat this? How do I enjoy it? So here I have some oats that I prepped yesterday. They chilled in the fridge overnight and they're ready to go. You can tell they have gotten nice and thick. They're a delicious consistency and ready to eat. You can top these with all kinds of different things. Some of my favorites are nuts and seeds and fresh fruit. Here I have some delicious chopped plums and apricots. You can also use apples, pears, oranges, berries, kiwi, whatever you enjoy. I also have some chia seeds for a little extra protein. Some nuts like walnuts. You can also use almonds, cashews, peanuts. Pumpkin seeds. You could also use sunflower, hemp seeds, and some shredded coconut. Another fun thing to add is a spoonful of your favorite nut or seed butter, or a spoonful of jam or jelly. You can either add those two right to the top, or you can mix them in with your batter so you have swirls of nut butter or jam in your oats. I'm going to top these off. I'm going to use some fresh fruit, some apricots, and some plums. Then I'm going to add in some walnuts for a delicious little crunch. And finally, I'm going to top this off with a few chia seeds. And look at that, ready to go and enjoy. You could either pop the lid back on this and eat it on the go, or have it right away. If you have super busy mornings, you can put the toppings on top the night before you put it in the fridge, but they might sink into your oats a little bit. So I recommend, if you have the time, topping them in the morning. Again, these oats are a delicious and super filling way to start your morning. You can add lots of fruits or vegetables, lots of nuts and seeds for protein, and other delicious ingredients. Make sure to check out the bottom of the recipe for different ideas on how to mix up your oats, and don't be afraid to experiment. Again, these are totally delicious and totally customizable for however you like to start your day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon here in my kitchen.